just somebody that's catching people as they're coming off stage any longer. It's, how long did it take you to feel comfortable in that role?
In that role? I mean, it takes a second to feel comfortable because there's so many different elements. There's excitement for those that are getting off stage for the first time. They find out they're going to be on the show. To the moments where I'm interviewing two artists that just finished their battle round, and one artist is staying and the other one's going. And you're dealing with different types of emotion from the one that's staying, the one that's going. I've seen it all. I've seen lots of different emotions when it comes to that. But it's a way of handling it that I've learned that is nurturing to them, you know, and also just giving a nice piece of advice, you know, on their way out. But I also believe it's not the end. So it's also giving that sense of encouragement that, hey, you've made it this far and this is not the end and there's more to go. So I found my role to get bigger where I have a greater understanding of people, and it goes beyond just tweeting and sending out pictures on Instagram and that kind of a thing. It goes more into how I'm going to find that connection between that person that's watching the TV screen and them finding that love and that passion for that artist and the coaches. And just kind
How
of,
can you do that? How do you go back to a time where you felt like this is it, this is the end of the road?
oh, absolutely. I mean, to me, there have been times in my career that I've been like, what the heck am I going to do now? But I love what I do so much, I never believed that there's an end to it. There might be time to restructure and refigure out what's next and how I'm going to do the same thing that I did before, but not make the same mistakes. And so that's where I'm coming from, and I come from a place of knowledge of being in an industry where there are ups and downs constantly. So right now, for any artist to go on a show like The Voice and have millions of people in front of them watching them, take that opportunity and make the best of it.
With Shakira and Usher, you think you're getting more traffic? What's that do for the show?
Oh, for sure. We have 10 times more traffic, I think, with Shakira and Usher, just because it's refreshing to the show. That's one thing. It's just going to happen naturally because it's a new conversation. But on top of that, Shakira and Usher have a huge fan base. I mean, Shakira has something ridiculous. I think up in the millions, at least 20-something, 30, maybe between 30 and 60 million followers on Twitter. You know, she has that many people and that much traffic that's just following her, and that many followers. The same thing goes with Usher and his Facebook page and his Twitter page. I found in the last month, in the last 4 weeks, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, I've had over 40,000 new followers on Twitter alone. So that's a lot of traffic, and it depends on what kind of conversation that you're having or what you're bringing up. It brings about more conversation and more followers.
Do you think it's amped up just the contestants themselves? I mean, it seems like the quality of the artists are just it's exponentially gone crazy on that show.
Yes, I think the quality of artists has gotten better on this show, but I think that has to do with their confidence and trusting that this is a show that is about music, and they're not going on their show that's going to embarrass them or humiliate them. They're taking a chance on working with some really big acts. So, you know, by having, you know, newer coaches like Shakira and Usher, of course, that breaks their interest to see what it sparks their interest, what can happen. I mean, Usher has, you know, Justin Bieber on his belt, you know, that he's mentored him. Shakira also has over 25 years of experience as well. So, I think it gives new artists something to look forward to.
Since you do use a lot of social media, has there been any, I mean, we see a lot of celebrities have lapse in judgments on social media and make kind of gaffes. Have you learned to maneuver that and not become one of those?
How not to?
Yeah.
I try not to react. That's one thing. I'm not reactive. You know, sometimes there might be somebody that might say something that might get you upset. I've learned that there's a block button. You will get blocked. Or number 2, just ignore them. You know, sometimes it's just the case of somebody trying to be the biggest comedian and trying to be the funniest person and the biggest joke, just to have a conversation and get attention. And that's their trick. They want attention. So, you know, if you give them the attention that's needed and not the people that actually deserve the attention, I think it's unfair. So I've learned to kind of let that pass by and let them go.
But has there been a situation where you've had to maintain your objectivity when you felt invested in their performance?
Oh, you know, I'm very vocal. If I'm invested in a performance and I'm invested into an artist, I'm very vocal about how I feel of their performance. And it's not that I'm trying to show any kind of, I don't know, like I'm not picking one person over the other. I try to keep an equal, you know, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Blah, blah, blah. I give equal opinion about everybody. But at the same time, I leave it open. It's not necessarily an opinion, but it's an opinion over what the coach had to say. It's a conversation that I'm helping create to see what the other people have to say.
Sure,
I'll let
but
them
just
take it
by
from there.
being you and having an opinion, you're potentially influencing.
True. Sometimes, yeah, it's true. Sometimes I'll be like, maybe I'm putting Shakira up too much, and I feel like I might be only, just choosing that one person. So I have to find that balance of actually evening it out for the rest of the coaches and for the rest of the artists as well. So I do have to make sure that I'm equally, influential about all the artists, but I try not to influence and just try to add my 2 cents as to what I feel about it. But I'm not.
How often
do
would you have turned your chair compared to the mentors?
The coaches this season turned their chairs 10 times more than any other season. And I think that's what made it so exciting. For me, that's a good question because I'm watching with my eyes. But if I was just going based off the ears, I probably would press the button less just because I would be so nervous if this is the one or not, and maybe the next person might be the person I should have pressed the button for. So, but I got to give a lot of credit to our coaches. They took a lot of chances this year and it made it 10 times more exciting.
Does your commentary include the activities of the coaches as much as it does the contestants?
Absolutely, yeah.
And the shade that gets tossed?
Oh yeah, I share a lot of I share a lot of my opinions and the things that I have to say about the coaches anytime on my Twitter accounts, on my social media. I think it's fun. I mean, for me, I know them now. We've become friends, and I love watching them and working with them. So whether it's a shared joke that we all share with each other, to a moment that just happened on TV, and me just like, kicking in on somebody like Blake, haha, look, so and so stole your artist. What are you gonna do about that now? It's just a little bit of fun.
So it's one thing to know that, Shakira and Usher have this huge background in music and have mentored people, but to actually see them give feedback, how has it changed your view of like Usher or Shakira to see them give the feedback that they do?
I have so much respect already. I had already so much respect for the two of them, but now to actually watch them like really be hands-on and give the type of critiquing that I hear them, the things that I hear them say is so outside of what I've already heard the other coaches say. So it's great to have new knowledge that they're giving these artists, and it doesn't feel like you're watching the same show and getting the same information. It really, like, especially Usher, I'm going to give Usher tons of credit because each artist, it feels like the message that he gives them is different, and it has to pertain to what's going on with them. So he's fantastic at doing that. Same thing goes with Shakira. She's just like in it, and she's just so beautiful, but she's so in the moment, and she's got such great knowledge and vocabulary. It's just so distinct, it really does help you out.
But is there, speaking of Usher, is there an over-under on how many times he's going to mention Bieber this season?
Hey, I would mention him as much as possible. So the way that Blake likes to bring up the fact that he's won multiple awards, so he's won 2 seasons of the show. Hey, my Justin Bieber is my country music award.
I love the fact that Blake brought the award.
He brings all types of awards. I don't know what he's gonna pick out next. It's so funny.